Happy Friday, everybody. It's Mr. Newman.
Happy Friday. It's Mrs. Post. Good to see all of you today.
This is Gershwin. He won't get off my lap, so he's our special guest today. What do you
Oh,
feel about
Gershwin. Hey, it was great to see so many of our students this past Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at our pickup days. A lot of y'all came by to get your stuff. There is still some stuff left to be picked up, and there will be one more opportunity May 18th to come and do that. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit.
Right. I just want to say it was nice to see everybody, the ones that we got to see, and some of you came around to just say hi, even though you didn't have anything back there. So it was pretty cool to see you guys in 3 dimensions.
Yeah. So thanks for checking in with us. Mr. Newman and I were just visiting again about just all of our interactions with the Bradley Orchestra community, the families, the parents, the students. Every single interaction we've had with all of you have been positive, encouraging, and that was also evidenced just by everyone driving through the other day. Just lots of positive interactions. And I know that some patience is kind of wearing thin right now. And
the traffic,
I can't read
the boss, the baby, the dog, that does it. Calgon, take me away.
Some unknowns continue, and but we just really appreciate the support, the positivity.
Absolutely.
Is that a word, Mr.
Sure.
Newman? Positivity?
It's a pandemic. You can say whatever you want. No, but yeah, it really did reaffirm how fortunate we are to work in this community with these kids, with you parents, with our administration. So what a whole package that is so rare in our world. And so I feel very blessed to be part of the Bradley community.
Yeah, so thanks to all of you. One of our unknowns, speaking of, that's kind of evolving and changing is for our 7th and 8th graders, the Houston trip refunds. We will probably, the very first step is getting our check back from our travel company. And as some of you know, we've told you they are based in New York and probably won't even be opened until phase 2, which could be at some point in June. Be encouraged. Northeast is working on, once we do get that check in hand, then Northeast is working on a plan for then distributing checks and getting those mailed out. But thank you again for being so patient.
All we need is just a little patience.
Because this is something that no one has ever experienced.
Well, and I just want to say on behalf of Ms. Post, she got right on this as soon as all this was starting to happen. And so the news we have is good news, but until we have that check in hand, we just didn't want to get the cart before the horse. But big props to Mrs. Post for getting on the ball with that.
And, just Mr. Newman and I, not only do we go through this whole situation as teachers, music educators, we both also have families and children. I've been dealing with, for especially today, it felt like just some things with my youngest son had 2 really big trips planned for this summer. And so one was an East Coast tour with YOSA. And then in July, he was headed up to Duke University for 3 weeks. And so we are in the middle of canceling flights and refunds and all of that. So believe me, we can empathize with all of you
Yes,
as
and
parents.
absolutely, and as pet owners. Um, yeah, my kids are now not well, they're 10 and 10. I won't go into that, but anyway, they're close in age. But if any of you have any kids that are like elementary age, I think the motto is over it.
Well, I vote we don't talk at all. How's that? Not until we get to Rome and everybody calms down a little bit. Maybe then we'll be acting like mature human beings.
Who knew that there was a honeymoon period in a pandemic, right?
So those are just some deep thoughts from Mrs. Post
Yeah,
and
sorry. This is our therapy.
Mr. Newman. So make sure today, since it's Friday, that you turn in your practice tracker. Y'all have been real good about getting those in. And again, if you have any missing that are showing up as incompletes, just go in. You can submit for any missing work that you have, and just in the notes section, the comments, just put what week it's for. You'll have today to turn in, May 8th, and then next Friday to turn in, May 15th. And then that will end our orchestra assignments. So speaking of Zoom, Mr. Newman, you want to fill them in on Zoom next Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday will be our final Zoom meeting, which of course is always, okay, I feel like one of those people on the old time talk shows that would bring on animals and stuff, you know.
That bear is hungry. When did you last feed this animal, Jim?
Anyway, Zoom. This next Zoom will be our final Zoom because after this we have like a campus-wide assignment that I think is gone out, and so there's no real reason. But that being said, Mrs. Post and I are always available through email, and if you need anything, email us and we can help you out.
And I did see that a couple of our local music stores, string shops, were opening up. I believe it might be appointment only, or they might be doing like the curbside or the virtual waiting room.
Right.
But certainly if you need any supplies to get you through the summer, or that tuning piece, you know, getting your instruments in tuned, just contact some of our local string shops.
Right. And while I'm thinking about it, next order of business, 8th graders, just as a reminder, if you want to participate in the memory project, that will be due on Monday, May 11th. If you do, great. If you don't, great. We're still going to pay homage to you. I think that's right. Or do you have to be dead to pay homage to someone?
You know, of paying homage comes from a historical context. In the distant past, paying homage was a show of deference or surrender. It showed you were connected to and thus loyal to a feudal lord. This bond was both a physical act, usually kneeling and pledging, and a symbolic of your connection. While the word is no longer used in that context, paying homage is still a sign of respect and care. It's often offered to or on behalf of someone who has passed away, or a reminder of past fame. People pay homage, for instance, to great musicians even if they are still alive and simply not as renowned anymore.
Anyway, we're going to honor you. So if you're going to do that, get it to me by Monday, 8 a.m., because then I'm going to get up and just get crack-a-lacking on your awesome video.
And then we will have, I had mentioned earlier, one more time to come up to the school if there's anything you had left. And I believe in the front of the school, they're going to be handing out some things. Ms. Cerrone will send out a final email about that. And then we will be set up in the back parking lot again for any school-owned instruments. For your 7th and 8th grade formal orchestra uniforms, please have them in the bag with your name on them, because then we have to go, those have to quarantine before we can take them to the cleaners. There's very specific rules about what we need to do with those uniforms this year. And then if you left anything in the orchestra room still, we still have a couple of instruments that kids need to come pick up. were we able to give that hamster away, Mr. Newman, that we found?
You know what? We were, but he has like 3 other friends. Apparently they hatched. And I didn't even know they hatched. I need to like study some stuff. Zoology.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Add that to your resume. Boy, we're just really building our resumes here throughout this.
I got a degree.
And,
look, I just hatched a hamster. Sorry.
And then 8th grade, on that Monday, May 18th, be sure and come with your parents or whoever's driving you, because we will have your 8th grade trophy, your 8th grade orchestra trophy that we usually hand out the night of the final concert, but we will be able to give that to you on that day, May 18th. So I'm excited that order, that everything went through with that. So that would be a special time that we can give you your 8th grade trophy.
That's right. That's right.
Was there anything else, Mr. Newman?
I'm trying to think.
I've eaten enough Twizzlers over the past week. Oh, and thanks to some of you who dropped off some Butterfinger and Twizzler treats to us.
That was really nice. That was really nice.
So thanks for that.
Yeah, we've been busy. I just finished plugging up a hole in the fence in the backyard, so Gershwin's not happy right now because he wants to be born free. Anyway, that being said, everybody have a good weekend. I think today's Friday, and let's, if you know it, sing along. Have a good weekend.
It's Friday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's Friday, Friday.